Flight boss, bitch. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And this video right here is about being submerged in knowledge. Being submerged in knowledge. Now, there's some things I want to make clear when we talk about being submerged in knowledge. Because we have, and I have to be real on this video, you know what I'm saying? We have what we call people out here who are trying to teach. And then we have people out here who are being spectators of the teachers. Now, here's the thing, right? Because with the teacher is actually going through the experiences and actually obtaining the wisdom, so they're fully submerged in whatever knowledge that they're trying to be knowledgeable on, for them to be inspired to teach. Then you have spectators who criticize and make up logic on try to rationalize why the teacher, or quote unquote, let's set aside the word teacher, the person who's submerged in knowledge, this person would try to rationalize what angle that the person is submerged in knowledge is in. So at the root cause, this means the spectator is just now trying to get submerged in knowledge. And they're actually utilizing someone who's already submerged in knowledge as a form of leverage for them to be submerged in knowledge. So we need to get that out the way, because I don't want anybody out here who's genuinely, as a spirit, is really just a spectator and putting yourself in a position where you want to be looked at as a teacher. Because what's actually going on is you're just teaching spectators how to be spectators. So you can only be a teacher of a spectator. You see what I'm saying? Now that we got that out the way, we got this thing that's being developed by spectators, that anytime a spectator want to jump into the shoes of a teacher, and like I said, let's set aside the teacher, right? And put themselves in a position where they're fully submerged into some form of knowledge, right? What's going to actually happen is the spectator isn't fully submerged in no knowledge. They're fully submerged in the knowledge that they're trying to be fully submerged in from the actual person that they're paying attention to while being a spectator. Then what actually happens is the moment the teacher gets upset at the spectator because the spectator got some discrepancies about the knowledge that they're trying to get submerged in, the spectator want to look at the teacher as if the teacher, or the person who's fully submerged in knowledge, doesn't have knowledge at all. And here's what's actually going on. This is what you don't understand. Now, this is what all teachers can understand. So all the teachers is about to get ready to feel me. You see what I'm saying? On this level right here. When you are inspired to teach, that means you have submerged yourself into knowledge. So you have went through so many mind states, so many realms of realities, that at some point you're going to forget or kind of have small remnants of realm realities that you once was in before. So when these things get brought back up, for an example, you might have when you put yourself in a whole new space, in a whole new location, you start developing new ideas and new concepts about things, right? So the moment a spectator comes to you and have a disagreement about your new horizon, whatever they're disagreeing, as the teacher, see, this is what the spectator don't understand. This is what frustrates the teacher. It's not that you're proving the teacher wrong. It's that the teacher already thought about that. And it's like, when you present something that you think you're proving that the person who's, let's set aside the word teacher, the person who's fully submerged in knowledge. When you present something to this person, and the teacher, the person who's fully submerged in knowledge, can look at what you just said and can see where you got that conclusion from, can actually see that I once was in that mind state at one point in time, and can actually think like, you must have came up with that thought to present that to me, because you must think that I never thought about that before. Like all of those realms of realities sometimes get frustrating to the teacher, because that is a space that the teacher is no longer in. And it gets frustrating that a person would try to drag the teacher back down to that space. And then the conviction that the teacher can see that the spectator have, as if the spectator actually think that they're presenting to the teacher something new that the teacher haven't once seen, is mind baffling. So that's why a lot of times teachers may be like, you're a demon. Because sometimes a teacher don't even know no argument or no way to come back down to that old outdated mind state to bring you up to how the teacher even came to the conclusion of where they're at now. See, if you're not dealing with any movement or any traveling, and you're being stuck and fixated on a form of knowledge, then you're not moving with the universe. This is why whatever form of knowledge you think that you're going to formulate as a form of consistency and think that you're going to back and support it, you're going to see 2 to 3 years down the line that it end up getting changed. It end up getting switched. Then you have to come up with a new hypothesis scientifically, or a new denomination religious-wise, or a new spiritual system. But what I'm trying to tell you is that process never changed. So just because you find something new, don't cling on to that, because that's going to actually change. So for the most part, you need to be staying in the energy signature of in constant change. So you need to be gravitating towards elements and wisdom and knowledge out here that's backed and supported by change. And a lot of y'all be gravitating and be trying to hold on to science that doesn't be backed and supported by any form of transformation or change. So when that get outdated, whatever energy you have become outdated with it also. So you need to understand what energy is and stop trying to put all eggs in one basket like that is the source. Same way with the Africa thing. Slowly but surely, all y'all is going to start realizing that the Africa shit is some bullshit. You see what I'm saying? How can you be African when African is not a race? Now, if you was to go to Africa right now, there's many races in Africa. So what is the true African race? So for you to sit here and try to tell me whatever you're kicking and you are a true African person, you're just basically saying that your ancestors was born in Africa. That doesn't have anything to do with your goddamn race. And when we talk about melanin, that's just the concept of being born in a location that was closer to the sun. So the skin and the ramifications that you're manifesting from yourself is going to be more resistant to what it was up to, the conditions that it was up under. The same way y'all say white people, quote unquote white people, can't stand up under the sun and they burn. But if you was to flip that, this is why they can withstand the cold a lot longer than you. Because the geographical location that the material of their skin developed in their DNA, based upon them coming out of that water, the sun was in an area that the sun wasn't that close. So for the most part, their skin developed in a way that they can be more resistant to cold weather. So it's like y'all not understanding simple things and y'all tying religious things to it. And it's like retarded. That's why anytime I hear somebody talking about praising the sun and the Most High and shit, these is the people I sit back and listen to, because I get to understand the new dumb consciousness that's coming in within this world right now. So when I sun gaze, I get to receive just my perception and how I look at the world. I get to sit back and receive all the new bullshit that's getting ready to come here, and how all the lesser suns, all the lesser solar plexus is going to remix it with their lesser ideas of some bigger conscious that just came here. Then once we get a new transit, go through a new age, that's going to fucking change. Then everybody going to be thinking they're enlightened about finding truth, where they just enlightened about some new conscious wave that's here now. That's really not truth. Truth is everything that is not. Truth is synonymous with a lie. So you would never find a truth without a lie. A truth is not something in of it itself. Truth was derived from figuring out something wasn't what it really was. So you're never going to find truth like, oh, that's truth. You're only going to find truth when you figure out whatever lie or idea or belief wasn't what it really was. Then that's where the concept of truth is derived from. See, you motherfuckers is not fully submerged in knowledge. You guys are fully submerged and being institutionalized, being indoctrinated, being lost in the form of language. And then when a person is not utilizing the language the way you see fit that the language should be used, you formulate an argument behind that. And then you tie that behind spirituality and shit like that. And then that has nothing to do with nothing. You don't even know what you're building onto yourself. I utilize this language because this is the tool that I have in order to access my spiritual nature. I don't utilize this language for the form of trying to utilize it the right way based upon gaining understanding amongst the people that's around me. I utilize it because this is what I have to use because it was what was created based upon a location that my spirit decided to create a body in. So it's just a tool to get out my spiritual expressions. But if that tool isn't working sufficiently, I'm not going to downgrade my spirit to make that tool work sufficiently. And this is what y'all do when y'all create different logic, different denominations. You know, sometimes things just is what it is. So if you figure out that motherfucking hell is another type of concept, quit trying to remix it with your language or your logic in order to make what you thought was hell was before more acceptable. When no, you just need to know it is what it is. And you may have just been lost because your language have been making you think about it in another way. Should have said, you get it. I need to do more fucking videos submerged in goddamn water. Now, this is another thing I need people to understand, being submerged in knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Concepts and ideas is formulated from belief. So the more you can get people to believe your concept and idea, it's going to manifest into some type of material. So that's what you need to understand. So the more y'all agree to the terms and the conditions of bullshit, the more y'all just going to manifest bullshit realizations, bullshit realities, and bullshit physical properties that slowly but surely going to get manifested due to you guys' DNA. So when you hear terms like GMO, genetically modified shit, you need to explain to me what is not GMO. Even the things that they claim is non-GMO. We got the science to create GMO things from non-GMO. So things that is non-GMO is not actually non-GMO. It's just GMO on a higher level. Because we're talking about something being genetically modified. When you got two planets, two stars, two bodies of water, creating an alignment, creating a transit, that is a modification. Because you could say every day is the same, but there's different events happening within that day, which means the day have been modified differently. Same way if you're playing a video game and you're going to the difficulty to put it on easy, medium, or hard. You're modifying the game as is. You're not playing it on default. You're modifying it. You're moving something around. So, when we talk about something being genetically modified, let's get into genetics. How is your genetics not modified? So, when we talk about different locations, different land masses, and the way things are grown, this is one of the reasons why you may have a certain tree in one area, and then you have a pine tree growing in another area. Now, you could say they're both trees, but they're both genetically modified in different ways. So that is an actual example right there to show you that when we talk about GMO, don't get lost into man and woman terms of what GMO actually is. You need to know that anything that they're calling non-GMO is just really GMO on a higher level, on a higher frequency. So until you start to understand spirituality and spirits going into bodies, into many different levels, into many different frequency vibrations to experience force, energy, realms of realities, then you would know that everything is GMO. So your consciousness and your ideas is GMO to me, based upon my consciousness. Because I had took my level of consciousness and put it into the God consciousness. AKA, I didn't put myself out of the shoes of the common man and the common lower third dimensional person, and I have put myself in the shoes of a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional being. And I have been living with those experiences in that mind state for so long, I have slowly but surely forgot how to think with the mentality of a person who is walking amongst the third dimensional realm. So if everything that I'm saying to you may not make sense and it sounds like very new, I apologize. I am not in your realm of reality. But my spirit is still taking the vessel of a vehicle that remains in your realm of reality. So all I could do is kick some imagery from another realm of reality within your realm of reality. Because this is the form that I got right now to express where I'm actually at spiritually. So when you put yourself in the mind state in the concept of a star consciousness, when you put yourself in the concept of a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional God body, a goddess body, a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional whole big old constellation you can go into and control as a person and be your persons to experience that realm of reality through those vessels. When you put yourself in that mind state, you start to understand higher rotations, how to be relative on a higher level, how to experience what other people are not experiencing, how to create experiences, how to rain down, how to have a day, how to be your own day within a day. You start to understand what things is really about. And you're just a smaller day within a larger day. And the more you create your day could put somebody else in their night, could put somebody else in their misery. AKA, when someone gains a lot of attention, they created a lot of light for their spirit to go into to be aware of themselves. So that spirit could be aware that it's a big spirit because it created a large light that a large amount of people can see. So this what lets the spirit know that this spirit must be expanding and contracting much larger than the spirits that it's around. Because the shapes and forms, aka gas, bacteria, lights that it's emitting in its space to be aware of itself is a very large one. And the larger that current, that chakra you create, that will, it creates an attraction. Light is pretty. Lights attract. But y'all done got so lost in the physical realm that y'all look at that as a draining system because y'all have been lost by a spirit that taught y'all how to stand upright. So y'all always in this form of looking up. So now that y'all looking up, y'all think things is coming down because the thing that y'all looking up to is in a higher position to y'all and it's going down to y'all mentality to the point that y'all don't know how to live without rulership or authority. And then once it rained down on y'all everything plays out in this realm of reality as a drain because based upon this space and location in the esoteric realm as a whole, the universe as a whole, the way things playing out in this position and the way y'all then created y'all direction, that's how things is playing out. So now y'all got draining systems here. Where really, if there's no up, down, left, right in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, and it's all based upon attraction. And the better you know how to create a light, a chakra to attract others, you suck them in to your imagination, aka your world, your realm of reality, and then you have people live through you. And since y'all in a realm of reality of y'all looking up at a being, so now y'all created the down system here. That attraction is what's created, which y'all think is a drain. So anytime you get drained emotionally or you get drained physically, is because you give your energy to a concept that you're not actually a part of. So for the most part, you're on a chakra, you're on a wheel, which you call Gaia. But all y'all give so much of y'all energy to the sun, that drain system. For the most part, your spiritual natures go into that shit, go up into that shit, and then you always go through trial and tribulation or feel spiritually drained. And then that sun and the spirits and those archives and parasites in there teach you dumbass concepts, teach you to make you think that you're actually doing the right thing. And really, you're just putting yourself in a situation where you think you have to cast stones, where you think you have to slash and dash on somebody, where you think you're taking some most high authority or something like that. And really, you're just the most high lost. You're trying to be the most high soldier or doger for some type of entity that want to be in the most high position. Where if you want to talk about the overall God, it don't give a fuck about none of that demonic shit. It don't give a fuck about none of that demonic mixing that y'all want to correlate to y'all demonic ancestors that formulated in Africa. You know what I'm saying? All y'all motherfuckers is demons if you really want to get technical. Now, I really don't want to start casting my sword and my stones and how I really feel about shit, because nobody will like that shit. And the only thing I will prove is none of y'all won't like God. Whoever y'all think y'all God is really y'all demon that's giving y'all small increments of satisfaction, of pleasures, to make y'all just be good sheep. But if you motherfuckers really wanted to know about the real actual motherfucking God, trust and believe all y'all Yahwehs and Hadiyashahs and fake motherfucking names and fake religions that y'all clinging to, motherfucker, that God will not support that shit. And it would look at you like I don't know you. Who the fuck is that? And what the fuck is that? And what language is that? And I don't even know other fucking language. Matter of fact, are we talking right now? And your ass will be cast away in Dalmatian until you get it right. Till you understand you ain't no thing. You ain't no word. You ain't no shape and form. Till you understand you just a straight motherfucking spirit. And that's the only way you're going to be light enough to get to that space and location I'm talking about. Otherwise, you motherfucking weak ass, most high, fake, weak, lame ass, lost in the light ass motherfuckers is not submerged in any form of knowledge. And I don't want nobody in 2019 as Archangel Uriel claiming that they are submerged in a form of knowledge when they're backed and supported by a premise of a fucking demon. Ride the wave, my friends.